Have you ever wondered how to edit videos that you wanted to post on YouTube or anywhere else? And you wanted to do that by accomplishing three important things. One, that the videos came out looking good because you were using a powerful program, not some cheap app. Two, that it was easy to figure out. And three, that it was free. Well, today I'm going to walk you through the solution I decided upon when starting my first channel, and that solution was Shotcut. And I'll share some of the things that I had to figure out as a complete novice to video editing software, so that you can get started with doing the basics in no time at all. But first of all, I want to welcome you to How To with Kevin. And of course, I'm Kevin. And like all of you out there, things come up that we have to deal with, or there's new things out there that we want to learn more about. So I made this new channel to share some of the things I've either learned or figured out to either make things easier or save a lot of money for myself, and hopefully you find it helpful. And one of those things I figured out was how to edit videos. And I needed to figure something out because I was looking to start a YouTube channel, not this one, but my Healthy, Wealthy, and Wise channel that focuses more on personal finance and DIY investing, or what I like to call financial wellness. Anyway, a lot of the things to start a YouTube channel are pretty easy to figure out, like what you're going to record with, using a microphone, and figuring out lighting. The biggest thing that I had to come up with was how to edit a video and to make it look at least good enough so as not to cause viewers to hurt their fingers slamming on the dislike button. But being that I was new to YouTube and just learning all about it, I didn't want to go crazy spending a lot of money on software or a software subscription for a channel that might just totally flop. So I was hoping to find something free to use, but the things I was finding were pretty ineffective for what I wanted to do. Luckily, my fiance, who is super smart and was really supportive in helping me in making that first channel, she came through for me by searching on her own, and she's the one who found Shotcut as an option for me to use. Now, Shotcut is an open source cross-platform video editor that you can download completely for free from their website, shotcut.org. And it works on Windows, Mac, and Linux computers. And when I say free, it's really totally free. Not just a free trial, there's no premium features you have to pay extra for, and get this, there's not even any ads. So anyway, she really hit the jackpot for me. But here's where the story takes a turn. I had no experience with video editing software. And when I would check out those other videos or instructions, most of those resources probably assumed I knew something about how to edit videos, and I did not. So it took me a while to figure it out and get better with it over time, and now I feel pretty comfortable with it. So if you're someone who is wanting to learn how to edit YouTube videos for free with Shotcut and want a beginner's guide to get started with it, I'm going to show you some of the basics today. And I'm definitely open to making more videos on Shotcut with some how-to tutorials on more advanced features, so if you're interested in seeing that, please let me know in the comments. And then remember to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss them when they come out. But first, let's get to the basics on starting out with Shotcut. So this is Shotcut opened, and there's a few things I want to show you before we get started. One is if you go to these tabs here, you'll see Playlist, Filters, Properties, and Export. We want to start with this being on Playlist. If you get it on Filters, you're going to have trouble finding or getting started. So make sure you go down, again, about 2/3 down the screen on the left, hit Playlist. You can also hit Playlist up here, okay? But make sure it's on. And then what we're going to do is, and this is going to be where the one part of the video doesn't look great, so just hang in there with me. So you're going to want to open up the folder with your file and take the actual file you want to edit and just drag it right onto the playlist. Okay? Give it a second, it'll pop up, and you actually will see it here. And this is from my most recent video on my other channel about one of the things about the Rivian IPO. And so once it's over here, you can start working with it. But the thing that it took me a while to figure out is you need to actually take it down into the timeline. So the timeline is down here. This is where you edit everything. So what you'll do is you'll just grab from the playlist and put it in, and it'll create a video tract. You got to give it a second, and there it is. So the first thing I usually do is I go to the end of the video and then I work myself back, because typically when you're making a video you have some edits and your last take is probably the best one, so you want to get rid of the ones before. So what you have to do is you can grab the playhead, and what I usually do here is I make the screen a little bit bigger so I can see this playhead here, because again you can watch what's happening on the actual videos you're editing it. Okay. So there's me trying to get everything set up, but I'm going to actually, again, take this all the way to the end, And there's ways you can do this with this to make this a little bit easier. It takes a while because this is about an 18-minute clip. Okay, so I'm at the end of the clip here, and I want to end my video. So what I do is, and you can see where this is where the words are spoken, so you can see like the wavelengths. All right, so I'm going to let it play to stop where I want it to stop.
Anyways, thanks so much for
Okay,
watching.
and we're watching
Good luck
this.
in trading. And until next time, have a great day.
Say I want to stop here. Okay. Now, with everything I'm going to show you on this video to make it easy is I'm going to right click, and you're going to have different options here. One of the biggest one I use is split at playhead, and you can see in the parentheses that is a little S. So that's a shortcut. You can find a whole list of shortcuts, Shotcut shortcuts up here in the help button. If you want to check those out, it can make it a little bit quicker. There's a couple that I use a lot. For this video, I'm going to do a lot with just the right click so you guys can see everything. So here, what I want to do here is I want to just right click it. We'll hit split. Okay. And you'll see that there becomes two different areas here. Now, to get it to work where you want to go, all right, you can click on video. This is what you're working on this clip, or this is where you're working on this clip, and you'll see it be highlighted with red. Okay, so because I want to get rid of what's the red here, I click on it, I right click, and I can see here that there's some options. And what I want to do here is I just want to cut it. I want to get rid of that. So at this point, my video ends right here. So all that stuff at the beginning that I didn't want to have is now gone. Okay? So again, this is one of the most basic things that you probably will need to do as you're starting, is just finding out what you don't want, and you can clip it out. So let's say it's more in the middle of the video. And how I usually find this, again, by going backwards, where I usually find where I have a problem is where there's a gap because I've stopped. And I need to restart again. Okay? So let's look here, and as I'm getting ready, and I say, ooh, I just missed this. To go slowly back to get exactly where I want it, you can either move the playhead like this, but you can also use these little arrow buttons, okay? And this is here, again, where I want to stop. So at this point, I want to get rid of this big gap here. And so, again, I could hit the S, and again, you want to make sure the video is highlighted by being red. And again, for the sake of this video, I'm going to right click so you can see. I'm going to hit split at playhead. And I know I need to get rid of this big gap here. See, there's me trying to move things around. So I want to get rid of that. Okay? And let's say this is where I ended the last clip. So look at me. I don't look too good there. But I want to get rid of all that gap in between. So for the sake of this video, I just want to show you, I'm not going to get too specific because I have the sound down for myself, but I'm going to hit the split or the S button, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this out. Okay? What it does, it sort of takes it out. Now there's other things you can do, and I'm going to really quickly show you. Say I wanted to put something in between here. I could take this clip, because again it's split, and just move it and add something in here. I am not, and you can see there's nothing here at this point because I don't have nothing in there, and then it plays. Okay, so again, for the sake of this video, I'm not going to spend time on this. If you are interested in seeing more with Shotcut and where I can show you more with this, just let me know, and again, we can make some more videos and talk about what you might do this for. But for the sake of this, so I want to get rid of this, I can just easily hit remove for this gap, and it goes away. Okay. So let's say you want to do some different things with the clip that you have. Some of the basic things are you might want to change the brightness of your video, or you might want to add some words to it. So what I'll do here is I'll show you both of those. They're both done in the same place. The one thing you want to make sure that you again are doing is have the clip that you want to work on being highlighted in red. Sometimes that comes off. So definitely make sure it's highlighted. And then you're going to go back to this little tab area here, and you're going to click on filters. And again, you can click on it at the top too, but I tend to work down here. So when you first click on it, you see that there's nothing here. But if you hit this little add button, there are different tabs of different filters, and the most common ones are listed in the favorites. Okay, so there's a couple that we're going to use just again for this intro video. Let's say you wanted to increase the brightness of your video. Okay, so you click on brightness and you look at it and you say, okay, a lot brighter. Now I'm making this exaggerated so you can see this, but just to show you what happens is if you go back and you're playing through here, you can see how that clip is brighter, right? Okay, so that's one thing. Another thing is, we talked about if you wanted to add some text or words to your video. To do that, again, make sure this is still red, which it is. You're going to hit the plus button and you're going to go to text simple. Okay? And on text simple, you will see some default text here. And what you want to do is, for the sake of this video, again, it's pretty bright. I'm going to change the color of the font, and we're going to make it red so we can see it a little bit easier. Okay? And let's say I just want to put thank you for watching. So you go into where the text is and just type in thank you for watching. Okay? But let's say this isn't exactly where I want to have this, or it's too big or whatnot. So with the text button, you can see there's a box around here, and you can actually resize this. Okay? And let's say, this is where I want it, but boy, it's sure small. What I could do to make this a little bit bigger is go up here, make a second line, gets bigger, and then I can just resize it. And there's more things you can do with this. You can make this horizontally aligned, center aligned, whatever you want to do. Again, for the sake of this video, just want to show you some of the real basics. And again, this is how you can get some text on there. But once again, once you go back to before you split the video, you'll see it's not on there. And then once you're on here, we have the brightness filter working and we have the text. Okay, I'm going to pause this. Now, this will go on to the length of this video. Now, one easy way that you could do to stop this without going into some more in-depth things, which again, I can show you, and they're not hard, it's just trying to make this as basic for this video. You can split your video again, okay? And see, right now, nothing's highlighted. So if you go to the filters, this says nothing selected. If we go to the part we just split the playhead at, and we want to get rid of that text, all we simply have to do is go into the filters and click it, and it's gone. And let's say we want to get that brightness away too. Okay? Click on brightness, and it's gone. So if we were just to watch this again previously, you see nothing. This little part is where the filters are working, and then this part is where they're not. Okay? So again, these are some of the most basic things you can do with Shotcut, and there's a lot more you can do. It's a pretty powerful program for free, but again, just want to show you some of the basics. So let me show you one last of the basic filters you might want to do, which is zooming in. Again, you see this a lot in YouTube. So really simple. Again, you're also in the filters, okay, and you're going to add another one. And again, this one's also in the favorite. Again, there's so many filters, and again, we're not spending all our time on that. We're just going to talk about some of the most common ones you'll use. And so in this case, if you want to zoom in, you go to size, position, and rotate. And it's pretty simple. And again, you make sure that the clip that you have is on the red part. And you can do it one of two ways here. You can use the box. So let's say I wanted to make this smaller, which is probably not what you want to do. You want to zoom in, right? You can also go bigger than the area, okay? Or you can bring it back. You can also do that from here. So you can zoom. And here you don't want to see my face real big, but you can zoom in from there. And then you can also, once you're zoomed in, you can move it a little bit just by grabbing onto this middle bar here. Okay? So let's say I wanted to be here because at this point, for whatever reason, I wanted to be here. So again, just to sort of show you again the differences between the clips. This one is still bright, has the words. We hit play.
Shout out.
It gets to the next part, and all of a sudden I'm big. And all those other ones are gone. If I wanted to see the brightness again, I could just go back here and click the brightness, and again, you see it getting bright again. All right, so that's some of the most basic things you can use with Shotcut, but let's talk about you need to save the file. So at this point, you want to process your video into a file that can be used, whether you want to upload it on YouTube or whatever, just to get a basic type of movie file format. What you do is, and to make this a little quicker, to save us some time here, I'm going to delete all of this, and again, this is all the previous part of the video, and just remove it, okay? So now our video is all of, 1 minute and 20 seconds long, so this will make it quicker. And all you have to do is go back to your little tabs here. So again, you have your playlist, your filters. Well, at this point you want to go to export. So at this point the default for me is YouTube. And again, this is so you can upload it on YouTube, but it can also pretty much be your standard type of movie file. So for this, you just hit export file, and we're going to switch back over to the camera here, and we're going to just call it, let's say we're going to call example 1. Okay. Going to hit save. At this point over here, it starts the process. It should not take really long because it's a pretty short clip. Once it processes, you'll be able to go back to your folder and go ahead and open it, and again, you have a video. Okay, so that was some of the most basic things you need to know to get started on editing videos for YouTube on the free Shotcut platform. Again, if you're interested in seeing more in-depth tutorial videos on Shotcut, definitely let me know that you're interested by liking the video and leaving a comment in the comments section so I know I should prioritize putting together more of these types of videos. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and turn your notification bell on so you know when those videos come out. Plus on this channel, you'll see me doing completely different things here as well. So far I've had videos on replacing a mailbox post without digging, removing a computer hard drive, how to prevent getting holes in your shoes, and even turning a laminate countertop into a concrete one. All things I had never done before, but like with Shotcut, all things that turned out pretty good for me. And if you're interested in DIY investing and financial types of videos, check out my first channel, Healthy, Wealthy, and Wise. I'll link it for you in the description. Thanks so much for watching, and have a great day.